Hello, this is National Chess Master R. Rats, continuing my video series on the correspondence team match played between my video lessons group and the team CARPE DIEM. And this game, our man is Jex Rosalind versus Timark, and it is on board 89 of 210 boards, rating advantage high 1700s versus mid 1600s. And let's have a look at the game. Kind of an interesting game for a while. Then Black commits a fatal error. We'll see that when we get there. King's Gambit's always interesting, and I've always thought the most interesting lines are where Black tries to hold on to the pawn, and with proper play, Black can do it. The position's even. It's not a losing opening. It's not a winning opening. But anyway, let's just see how it goes. Now White's regained his gambit pawn, but Black's getting his pieces out, and that's important. Both sides have three minor pieces out, and both sides are castled. Both sides aren't making weakening moves, pushing their rook pawns, thank goodness. Okay, now here's an interesting concept I've talked about in some games. You want to make moves which develop your pieces, not those of your opponent. So White could retreat his bishop, but White figures, well, I don't really need the bishop. So he just reinforces with the queen. And now if Black takes, that helps the White queen develop. So to some degree, Black has helped White out here, right? Because now the queen was on d1. Now it's all of a sudden sitting out on f4. And it's actually menacing the light squared bishop that Black owns. And now that needs to retreat. So White does now have a lead in development. The difference here is White's queen knight is out, Black's isn't. White's queen is out, Black's isn't. Otherwise, the game looks pretty even, and it's White's move. So we could argue that White has a very slight advantage here, being 2.5 tempos ahead. See, Black could now develop a piece and only be down 2 tempos, but Black decides that he wants to safeguard his king and parks him in the corner. And now it's time for White to start improving the position of his pieces. Now here, I think that Black made a strategic error. Black plays c6. Okay, now objectively there's nothing wrong with that move, but one thing I try to tell my students, if you're not sure what to do, develop a piece. Okay, when you play c6, you're basically either telling that knight to back up or take this bishop. Okay, that's what you're basically saying. So why not just see what White's going to do? Let's just develop a piece here. Instead of playing c6, let's develop the knight. Now, if White wants to take, he'll take. Okay, maybe White will be happy to leave that knight sit there, but at least Black has developed a piece. And if White takes that bishop, Black could be taking back with either the queen or the knight. This also puts some indirect pressure on d4. Black might try to get away with bishop takes, followed by knight takes. So c6 just makes White take that bishop. Oops, we don't want to see knight c6. Oh, come on. Stop moving the pieces for me. Okay, so c6 doesn't solve the problem of this knight not developing. And the fact that this knight doesn't get developed is actually going to hurt Black. So, again, White does have a lead in development. And he tries to grab a little space with it. Forces the bishop back. And now he brings the knight to a more aggressive square and invites Black to weaken himself. And that's what Black does. He does play f6. White was bearing down on f7, but with 4 attackers and Black having 3 defenders, Black did need to do something. So that was one of the drawbacks of playing king h8. It cost him a defender. But White takes advantage of a pin. See, even though Black's attacking this knight, he's not threatening that knight. And because the rook on f8 is falling. And one of the reasons the rook on f8 is underguarded is because This knight hasn't developed and the rooks aren't connected. So black could have developed that knight as I've shown, and he didn't. So white's able to take time and advance this pawn because black can't retake. And it's here that black throws the game away and makes a innocent-looking move, d5, which attacks a piece. But white has a little Zwischenzug. And let's just run through real quick what happened and then try to find an improvement. See, at this point, black just jettisoned the queen, and it's going to go a rook down. And we'll see that black really had no defense in just a moment. Now, black needs to take the queen if he's going to get anywhere at all, but unfortunately, he's down a rook. And no matter what he does, he's going to lose, and he actually loses it quite quickly. This attacks the knight, but it doesn't cover the back rank, and this is a checkmate. So let's back it up to this point and look at the natural move, queen takes f6. I mean, that's probably what a lot of you would play here. But white does well in this position. White can simply back this queen up. Okay, now black's kind of in a pickle. He needs to guard this rook on f8. So let's try and back the queen up. And now white needs to deal with this bishop. So let's just go here. And suddenly, white's got a lot of threats. Let's look at some possibilities here. If bishop takes, queen takes, and there's this very nasty mate threat, as well as this check. And it's not something black can really deal with. If black lets the bishop sit, well, what's he going to do? If he tries h6, if anything, well, let's see. Knight e6 allows rook takes check. Probably white can just win like this. And now there's a checkmate coming. Okay, now you say, well, he could throw a rook check in there. Well, yeah, he could. Let's look at that. Okay, bishop takes. Let's throw this check in to give the king a flight square. But the king doesn't really have a flight square. See, we didn't achieve that at all. This is still a mate. So, and there's probably better for white in here. It's not an obvious situation, but I think it's what black should have tried. Make white find some of these moves. Black still needs to defend this position. How can he do it? Again, it's too late to try something like knight d7 because this is going to come, and we end up with a similar checkmate as we've seen before. Okay, so, but black had to try this defense rather than just going a rook down. Make white find the win. Anyway, well played, Jex Roslin. Better luck next time, Timark. I guess you won the other game because I only have one game after you completed both. And I thank everyone for having a look, and good chess to you all. Take